So Buster, one of the biggest concepts, things that just literally completely changed my life and let me work on myself, because the pattern that people who have anxiety and depression, the reason why they still have that is because they haven't figured out a way to climb out of the pattern, the same way that I never figured out how to climb out for like 18, 19 years. And this is literally it. You think to yourself, hey, I guess I might want to do that a little bit better. I want to improve my life. And then what happens is you say to yourself, oh, I would improve my life, but then I know that I suck, or I know that I have anxiety and depression, and that's going to make me not be able to work on things, or that's just going to always make me sad. And so people are just stuck in this loop really for no fault of their own, but this is just what happens in terms of the mind. This is why the mind is like the worst prison to be inside of. So the first step is to realize and to disassociate from that identity. It's to say to yourself, hey, my anxiety and my depression, I'm not going to take it personally, because just because I have anxiety, it does not mean that there's something wrong with me. It does not mean that I am some moral, ethical failure, that God created me or my parents created me and I'm just somehow messed up. The key is the way that you start to take that and depersonalize it and start to look at what mental health objectively is by learning about the neuroscience at a very basic level. And what I mean is this: the moment when I understood that our brain is a survival organ that has existed for thousands of years, that you can almost look at separate to us. A brain is this organ that its main job is not to keep us happy. The main job of our brain is literally to keep us alive, to make sure that we're survived, make sure that we're not about to get killed any second, make sure that we have enough food so we don't starve. That is what our brain does. And like, if people listening to this, if you go on Google and you type in cognitive bias codex, what you are going to see is literally a chart with a brain inside of it. And it's going to break down every single cognitive bias, every single cognitive distortion, every shortcut that our brain has created, neurologically speaking, for thousands of years to help it function better. And so what I mean is this, right? So you know how if you're on your computer and you want to copy and paste something, you can either, go over to it, right click it, hit copy, go to the document, right click it, and then hit paste. Or you could just click on it, hit Control C, and then go to your document and hit Control V as a shortcut instead of doing that. Our brain has these same shortcuts, but for life itself. And so, for example, the most common one is called the negativity bias. Of like, if 100 people walk up to you today and 99 people tell you that you're great, Buster, but then one person walks up to you and says, dude, you suck, your brain, naturally speaking, is going to focus on the person who gave you that negative piece of feedback, even if it's not even legitimate. Comment section life, man. That's like social media is such a pure example of our brain being bastardized by sort of these cognitive distortions. Another one is like, right when you hear like a piece of partial information, your brain immediately rushes to create a story to paint the full picture for you, even if it's wrong. But then your brain will be like, no, that's the truth. And then you'll operate in that way. And so if you look this up,
I find this all the time myself. I'll think of something, I'll come up with a negative, make up a story, and then take it as truth. It's the most ridiculous, illogical thing ever. And I do it every day.